Hi, my name is Donnie.
And I'm Tammy, and this is our son Micah.
So we're just kind of tell a story about God's peace in our lives a little bit. If you ever moved, you know it's a chaotic time. It's a whirlwind of boxes, lists, and sometimes uncertainty. Our journey started in San Diego. San Diego is beautiful and exciting, but we knew that even with two incomes, we'd never be able to afford a home. Um, I felt the Lord leading us here to Tucson, where Tammy's family is, and where we could set roots and eventually buy a house.
Donnie and I talked about it several times, and being honest, I did not want to move. I grew up here in Tucson, so I knew that Tucson summers are 6 months long, that the hot water comes out of the tap cooler than the cold water, and that you can actually burn your hands on your car doors in the summer. So trading that for year-round great weather was not something that I truly desired. I didn't want to leave my teaching career. I was getting ready to move to full-time in my teaching with my piano and violin students. But we were living in a small condo in a really bad neighborhood. And we dreamed of having our own home, a place where we could set roots, a place where Micah could have a backyard and play. And however, after much prayer, the Lord worked on my heart, and we knew it was time for us to move. But the timeline was very tight for us because we knew that Micah would be starting school, and we didn't want him to start school and make friends and then move and take him away from that.
For several months, we gradually packed up our condo, getting ready for the big move. The closer we got to the moving day, the bigger the maze of boxes got. There was a lot of uncertainty. We didn't have jobs waiting for us. I had a promising conversation with the owner of where I work now, but there was no offer for a job. We had God's peace that he was putting all the pieces together. We talked with Tammy's dad, and he was open to us staying with him temporarily. Despite this uncertainty, God's peace surrounded us and gave us confidence that we were following the Lord's leading.
In June of 2023, we packed up the moving truck in 75-degree weather, and we unloaded it here in Tucson in 114 degrees of dry heat. Same. We had several friends help us pack up from our church and our friend network, and we waited for the hardest thing to load up until last, our cat, Bella. We had worked with her for several weeks, putting treats inside her cat carrier, getting her ready to move, and when we had everything else loaded up, we put the treats in the cat carrier and zipped her in, and we were on her short list for a long time for that one. The day we moved was very hard. We didn't have jobs lined up. We were moving in with family, and it felt like we were letting go of so much to make this happen. But somebody shared a quote from C.S. Lewis with me that kind of gave me a lot of perspective on the whole thing. It said, "There are far, far better things ahead than anything we leave behind."
God provided work for Tammy and me, and a great school for Micah, where he started kindergarten that fall. After a bit, we found a church as well. We were so thankful that my father-in-law let us stay with him, but we still had hopes and dreams for owning our own home, a place that we could decorate for the holidays. For 2 long years, we prayed about buying our own home. And this past May, we felt it was the right time to begin that process of buying a house. We saw one home, and we put an offer in. It was in a great neighborhood with 3 bedrooms, a beautiful view, and within a good driving distance from Micah's school and church.
Our realtor wanted to show us another home in the same neighborhood, but it was out of our price range. So we decided to not even view it because we didn't want to fall in love with a home we knew we wouldn't be able to afford. And this was a huge reason why we left San Diego.
After we put our offer in and went back and forth between us getting the home and it falling through, the sellers were desperate to sell, but there were a lot of things that had to be fixed before the VA would approve the loan.
We love so many things about this home. And the price, we didn't feel like we'd be able to find anywhere else with another home. So it felt like the fulfillment of why we left San Diego was finally coming within our reach.
At the last minute before closing, there were still several things that needed to be fixed. And some of those things that were fixed were worse than before they started. Right. We wanted this house so bad, but we had God's peace that it wasn't the right home for us. We had God's peace, but that if it wasn't the right home for us, God would close the door on this one and lead us somewhere else. We didn't know if this would be our home until the day that we got our keys.
On June 13th, we finally got the word that we were homeowners. Finally, we could put all that behind us and have a place of our own. And we had a lot of fun picking out carpet and picking out paint colors because we'd never been able to do that before because we never owned our own home. We always rented. So now that we finally found fall, Mike is able to play in our backyard. And this year we were able to host Thanksgiving in our own home and have both of our dads with us. And we're putting up our Christmas decorations last night and putting all of them out and just finding where we want to put everything and building our own memories in our own home. If we had done things according to our own timeline, we would have missed the blessings of God's peace, even when it seemed like things weren't working out. But we got to see God provide in so many ways that we never imagined.